Erica and Sharon are sisters who began their grief journey in 2006 when Erica's 10-year-old son Austin drowned. Together, they participated in a grief education program, were so moved by this experience, they studied and became specialists so they could help the brokenhearted find recovery. In 2015, tragedy struck their family once again when Erica's oldest son Donovan was killed in a motorcycle accident. Erica and Sharon are committed to sharing their experiences of love, loss, and healing through this podcast. Now your grief specialists, Sharon and Erica.
Hey friends, welcome back. You are listening to Healing Starts with the Heart with Sharon Brubaker and Erica Honore. I'm so glad that you joined me today. I have a special show planned for you today, and it's called When Children Grieve. Again, friends, Erica's not here. She's still hunting, and let's send her some good luck for catching a deer so we can be talking about that on our next show. If you are listening to my show today, there's a huge probability that your heart may be broken. It could be from a grief, either recent or long ago, or it could be from the breakup of a romantic relationship. Could be from your pet dying, divorce. There are 40 or more known losses that we know a griever can encounter over a lifetime. Death is just the most popular that we associate with grief. But I want to let you know that Eric and I are really trying to share with you and teach you of all the different areas that grief can affect our lives. If you know anything about my story and about Erica's story, it is that we lost my precious nephew, Austin, in 2006. He drowned while at the lake with our family for Father's Day weekend. It was at that moment that we knew we were ill-prepared to deal with grief. And now we want to share with you our story of how we got through day by day and how we started to help grievers overcome their own pain. So welcome today. Today I have a very special program for you, and that is When Children Grieve Part 2. How to absolutely help your children through grieving and helping you to have the conversation with them about grief. How is it that we are never taught how to grieve properly? I know for a fact that in my childhood, when I was 14 years old, my aunt passed away. And my parents, bless their hearts, there were these amazing servers, and they stayed by my uncle and my family's side, and they helped them with all the arrangements. But they didn't come home and talk to us about grief. They didn't come home and talk to us about death or dying. Sometimes we're afraid to have that conversation with our children. We don't want to use the word death for them. But here's the deal, my friends. Death is a natural part of living. It is a part of an experience that we will have. If we all live long enough, we will all have a grieving experience in our heart and in our soul. Who do you want teaching your children? The world? Their friends? Or do you want them to hear it from you? I made a huge mistake when Austin died, and my heart is still broken every time I think about it. When Austin died, my children were at the time were 19 and 17. My son was older and he had moved out of the home already. And I didn't want those girls to see me cry. And so what I would do is every day I would go in the shower and I would bawl. But I knew the moment I turned that shower off that I had to be strong for them. I'm here to tell you right now that being strong for your children is possibly the worst thing that you can do. So I had to be strong for them. So I would come out of the shower and I would wipe up all my tears, and I was trying to act like everything was okay. That wasn't teaching them how to grieve. I was absolutely teaching them how to be strong. I wasn't giving them the tools that they needed to get past. So let's talk today about some don'ts, some things that you should not do. So let's see if I can help you here. I need to share my screen here. Number 1, don't say to your children, don't feel scared. Don't feel scared. Fear is common And it is a normal response to loss. It is common for us to feel fearful. Tell them if you feel afraid. Tell your children, I'm scared right now. I'm scared right now. My heart is beating fast. Let them know that you're having that response. Let your children know that you're feeling that in your heart. And the best thing that you can do is just say, hey, mom's feeling really scared right now. My heart's beating really fast. But I'm going to sit here right now until it goes away. And they're going to look at you and they're going to see that you're feeling that way. And they're going to be like, wow, if mom's feeling that way, it must be okay for me to feel that way. Find the perfect time to talk with your child. While you're out shopping, while you're out at church, may not be the perfect time. Don't just start up the conversation in the middle of a happy time. Try to set the tone for having the conversation. Come to the kitchen table and say, hey, let's talk. One of the perfect places that I find to always talk to my children is in the car. I turn the radio off and I just drive down the street with no sound, and I may bring something up. I may set just a little tone and set out a conversation. It's okay. Set the time with your kids. Say, hey, Friday night we're going to have family time. We're all going to talk. Sit around the couch and just everybody having a great time. Set the tone and find the perfect place to talk to your children. Don't say to your kids not to feel sad. Don't tell them not to feel sad. You cannot tell your children how to feel. Feelings are normal. They are natural. Allow your kids to be in the space that they need to be. Allow them to feel. It's okay. I promise you, it is okay. Sadness is healthy, and it is a normal reaction. Sadness and fear are the two most common feelings attached to loss of any kind, and they are essential to our being human. It is okay, moms and dads. It's okay for your kids to feel sad. But most importantly, it's okay for you to feel sad. Let's move on here. Don't ask your children how they are feeling. When we ask our children how they are feeling, just like adults, they're fearful of being judged, and they will automatically say the things that we always say. Even though they are not feeling this way, they will say, I'm fine. If we come up to our children and they say, how are you feeling right now? Fine. How was school today? Fine. How are you feeling about Austin dying? Fine. They're going to come to the very first thing that comes to their head and to their heart, and that answer is going to be, I'm fine. Instead, instead of asking them, say, today I was having a bad Austin day. Today I was thinking of Austin, and I started to cry a lot. My heart was hurting me when I was thinking of him. And just be quiet. Don't add another thing to that. Your child may or may not respond to that, and that's okay. But try it a couple times in a row. And you know what's going to happen as you're driving down the street without the radio on? You're going to say, I had a bad Austin day today, and I was really crying. And from the back seat, you're going to hear, Mom, when I was in math, I was really thinking about Austin, and I wanted to cry. But I didn't want my friends to see me cry, but my heart was really sad, and I was thinking about you today. And guess what, friends? You just opened the door for an amazing conversation on grief with your children. Don't act strong for your children. I'm here to tell you that it is the worst thing that you can do. They will interpret your non-feeling as something that they are supposed to copy. Man, this makes my heart heavy when I hear this. When I was 14 years old and my parents didn't come home when my aunt passed away, and they stayed with my uncle and my family and helped them through the funeral, which was amazing, which was what they were supposed to do, but they didn't come home to check on us. When it was my time to help my sister through her grieving, guess what I did? I did the exact same things to my children. I acted strong for them, and I forced them to do the same thing. So I'm here to tell you that if you need to cry, cry in front of your children. If you need to feel sad, be okay with that. If grandma's not coming home from the hospital today because she passed away, tell them that. It's okay, guys. One of the most important things is we can help our children do is to teach them to grieve. Because at some point, we're not going to be here to help them. And what an amazing, responsible thing you did if you left your children with that tool in life, right? Don't compare their lives or their situations to others in the world. Don't tell them that Janie is doing better than them. Comparison always minimizes their feelings. I didn't compare my daughters, Lauren and Brittany, to each other, but I did force them to act strong. And I'm here to tell you that if I had a chance to do it all over again, I would 100% do it differently. I would 100% allow them to grieve with me and cry with me. I wish I could take that back, but I don't have that opportunity. Let's see here. Don't make promises you can't keep. Instead of telling them everything is going to be okay, try something like, we will do everything we can to make sure you are safe and make sure that we can be safe. My friends, I have a client that after her mother died, her father promised her that he would not die. He didn't say, I won't die. What he actually said was, I promise I will never leave you. And 1 year later to the date, he passed away. And she was a young woman in her late teens. And the thing that stuck with her is that her dad made a promise that he could not keep. And so I'm here to tell you, do not promise your children it won't hurt. Do not promise them you'll never leave them. And do not promise them that everything's going to be okay, because we can't. We cannot promise our children that another earthquake won't come. We cannot promise them that the house won't fall, that things won't happen during the earthquake. But we can promise them that we, within our power, will do everything we can to make them safe. We will promise that we will give them the tools that they need. We promise that we'll have conversations with them. We will guide them in where to go if they need that help. That is the best thing that you can do for your children. That's the best way that we can teach them. Don't forget that your children are very smart. Treat them and their feelings with respect and dignity as you would like to be treated by others. This is huge. This is huge. Even a 3-year-old has feelings. Even a 3-year-old can express those feelings. Don't negate their feelings and just move on past it because you think they don't understand. When Austin died, Jordan, my youngest nephew, was 3 years old, and Eric and I didn't know what to tell him. And so we told him that Austin went to heaven. We didn't know that we should have told him that Austin died. We didn't know that he would understand the word died. And so poor Jordan thought and misinterpreted what we said, that Austin had gone with Kevin. And because of that, he was still looking for Austin and his friend Kevin. He was looking for Austin to come back. When you tell your children that someone has gone on to heaven, they will still look for them. And we misinterpreted that. So I'm here to tell you guys that there are so many things that we can say, that we can set our children up for victory, that you are smart. You know what your children need, and say and do what is age appropriate. Here's the deal. I have faith in you, and I know you can get through this, and I know you can do it. My friends, thank you for allowing me in for these few minutes to give you these tips and words of wisdom. I look forward to seeing you back on the next show on what to tell your kids and how to help them through grief. Thank you so much for allowing me in. Have a great day. I want to tell you, you can reach me at Sharon at SharonBrubaker.com anytime, or at my website at SharonBrubaker.com. Have a great day. Bye.